All right. Welcome to Pump Fake Pod live show going over January 3rd, picks and previews. Um yeah. How's the holiday break? I know it's been a minute since we did a show here.
Yeah, it was good seeing you. Good seeing Rob join the squad. I popped in there in the comment section. It was a good travel weekend, I should say. Another big Saturday for me, which is always nice to cap off the week. I'm always battling during the week though, man. Tonight, 2-2, plus 0.0 units, 0.0 Mr. Plutowski. So, uh, yeah, hey, we'll keep it though. We'll keep it in the gray. A few teams added my untouchables. Other than that, life's great. Happy New Year. Good to see you, Trev. How was your New Year?
Not too shabby. A lot of watching some hoops and football, whatnot, over the last weekend, I should say. Yeah, Evansville made my do not bet list, but they've caught my eye tomorrow. So I guess we could probably just lean right into that one. Arguably game of the night, Evansville, Indiana State. Evansville's catching 14 in Terre Haute there, and over-under's 158.5. Personally, I'm probably looking at Evansville or the over. I think if that over hits, Evansville is going to be doing their fair share, but will they hang within 14 is kind of questionable after what they did against Cincinnati last week. But Indiana State is coming off that Michigan State game where they shot lights out for majority of the game. Their three was keeping them in it all game, per usual. But now you're coming home and you getting a little brother, Evansville, coming to town, who just came off a shellacking after they were up 8 on Cincy at halftime. So they've shown they can do it, but it's a matter of playing a full 40 minutes is the questionable part. So potentially even maybe an Evansville first half. They come out hot, and Indiana State a little sluggish after the Michigan State game. But I'm not really a fan of fading Indiana State in general. So if anything, it'd probably be a first half over here or a full game over for me in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over 158.5 most likely, or we don't have Nick. He knows the math behind it, but with 158 to 14, I'd expect Indiana State's total probably to be around 83, 85. I'd assume so.
But looking right now, we'll just do 159 divided by 2. Yeah, it's probably going to be around upper 80s, 90, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm seeing roughly 92.
I think they could score 88, 89, no problem. But I'd hate to be the guy to take the under here. I don't expect it to start slow and end slow. You're right about the matter. The question is, does Evansville hang on, and do they hang around? But their defense is really good. So, they rebound well. They shoot the free throw well. They don't foul. So Indiana State, I think, I don't trust the 14. Maybe this is one game. I mean, they ended up covering against that Tennessee State, which was wild in like the final 2 minutes of the game. So who knows? I hate to fade Indiana State, so I probably will lean the over in this one. But I'm curious to see how Evansville responds to Indiana State, who can foul a lot. They don't block as well. I think Evansville has a defensive rebounding edge against Indiana State's offensive rebounding woes, being 331st ranked in KenPom in percentage. I expect a lot of points still. Just curious to see how Evansville defense plays against Indiana State's high-tempo offense and effective, efficient offense.
Yeah, Evansville, the one thing they struggle with is shooting the three and defending the three, which is exactly where Indiana State thrives at. So we'll see. Something's got to give tomorrow. If Indiana State's on, it's going to be a fucking rout, and it probably stays under just because Evansville can't shoot the three to kind of dig back in, and they don't crash the offensive glass for second chance points. So that'll be questionable. But I mean, I still kind of lean the angle that Indiana State may be a little shot after that Michigan State game. I mean, they shot 14 to 35 from deep. That's 40%, and they shot 11 of 22 inside. So, I mean, they didn't have a Villa either. He was out. Kind of honestly hurt him when he came back in. He kind of just ruined the flow they had. They had the small ball going. They were hanging around. They were shooting. They were getting open shots, and then Avila comes in and was just fouling, and he kind of turned the whole thing upside down. So, yeah, we'll see. But I kind of lean Evansville in the over here tomorrow, personally.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this game and see the second best team in Indiana play right now. So maybe this is the battle for second. I don't know. IPFW is in there. So Indiana's hooping right now, other than Notre Dame. But hey, shout out Notre Dame with their big win over a gross Virginia. I can't figure that team out. So.
Yeah. I guess we could just probably hop right into that.
Yeah.
Notre Dame
What we got next?
Since, we got it up there. This is later in the night, but since we're already talking about Notre Dame, I'm looking at firing on NC State -4.5. Notre Dame, I watched that whole game. I bet their team total under, and it was cooked within the first 5 minutes. They could not miss. Where are they in here? They had a kid who was 6 of 6 in the first half. He had like 17, 18 points. He was unconscious. They shot 48% from 3 and 54% inside the arc. They put up 76. Yeah, I mean, Virginia couldn't do anything. Their defense, it didn't matter. Notre Dame was hitting everything they threw up. That I don't know if it will carry over tomorrow because they're going to have to go running and gunning, keeping up with NC State here. And NC State can actually force your offense to use some clock. They play some pretty good defense, and Notre Dame, like I said, they blew their wad. They are a 46.6% effective field goal percentage team, 20% turnover on offense, and they only had 14 turnovers. I guess, it's still a decent amount. They had 14, but Virginia had 17 also. Not really sure that'll continue with NC State. They really take care of the ball. They shoot the three. They do struggle with the free throw, but I still think it's a rout. You're gonna have DJ Burns down low, Jaden Taylor, DJ Horn. I mean, they got guys that can shoot and score and run. So yeah, I think Notre Dame's just in a little over their head after that gigantic UVA smashing on Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm not excited to bet NC State if that means anything, but I gotta take NC State here with the points or laying the points. 4.5. I think they win by 5 to 8. Maybe not a complete route. Hopefully, it is one of those. Just NC State comes in and dominates with their just high octane offense that it's fun to watch. Burns, Horn, Taylor. These guys are hoopers. I will say Notre Dame, did they figure something out last week? But no, I hate taking against home dogs in conference play, but I just don't see this Notre Dame showing anything after putting up a great game against Virginia and struggling against Citadel, losing to Citadel, barely beating Marist, losing to Georgetown, losing to Marquette, Miami, South Carolina. Those are great teams, but really struggling even against Niagara early in the season. So maybe they've came around to show some positive regression, but I'm not going to trust a team 4.5. I leaned Virginia last week, didn't take them, which I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, lucky.
So
I even live bet them.
It's just my favorite fade of the season right now is Notre Dame, but we'll see if that stands. So yeah, I'll take NC State with the points 4.5 for sure. I bet it goes to 5 tomorrow, 6.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the lines today, they all kind of felt trappy, but they all smacked. So we're gonna see if that trend continues tomorrow, or if books kind of make their money back a little bit here, because those were some pretty public plays tonight, and they all smacked around. But yeah, I agree. I mean, you bring up a good point. Maybe Notre Dame did kind of figure something out. Marist is not a bad team. They may be 216 to KenPom, but they can still score. They can still give anyone a fight. Yeah, I mean, the Virginia loss, that could just be a huge momentum booster. Kickstart the season. They finally won a big game. They didn't get their asses kicked or blown out. So maybe they start to play a little better, and NC State will be a good test. But I don't know if Notre Dame can run a full 40 minutes with them up and down. So maybe the first half they're competitive, but second half they start to gas out.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be sweaty in the first half, like you mentioned. We'll be worried, but yeah, I'm not betting on Notre Dame again. I'll be looking at their team props, team totals as well. 140. What is it? What's the over under? 137. So they'll probably be around like 65, 66. So that's probably priced accordingly. But if that tells you anything, that means that they're gonna maybe struggle putting up points. Yeah, we can move on though. Screw Notre Dame,
Yep.
South Bend, Indiana. Just kidding.
I guess early game, Yale Howard. And you gonna be betting that, or are you gonna be casually watching?
Yeah, I know. I've not really tweeted out any really early games at all recently, other than November. But yeah, I just get screwed at work, and sometimes it stinks. But
I hear you.
I'll look into a play real quick here, maybe with Yale. What are we sitting at? 144.5.
Yale's laying 5.5 on the road. Total's 144.5.
Kind of like the 144.5. Maybe leaning an over. I hate betting an over in the first game of the season though, or the first game of the day. It's always most public like kind of.
Oh, it hit today though. Air Force didn't play defense.
Oh God, no! They didn't play defense against Utah State. Utah State was bodying them, but
they got whatever they wanted.
Howard's defense kind of stinks. Betting an over with Yale though is never really fun.
Yeah, I mean they're good. Howard's given up 94, 79 to Texas Southern, 81 to Jackson State, 78 to Penn, 86 to Cincy, 83 to Mount St. Mary's. Granted, that was a double OT, but 85 to Rutgers. I mean, they're giving up points. So I mean,
yeah,
I don't hate that over.
Yeah, I'm bet with my heart, not worried about the public. So,
what did they have last year? This was an 86 to 40 game. Yale won.
126 total. Howard can put up maybe more points. Yep. Is it in Howard?
Yeah, it's at Howard.
Burr Gymnasium. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go the over.
Sounds good. Yeah, I lean Yale on that one. I think you probably just smash them again. Howard has not been too good. They're 23% turnover on offensive possession. So see if they hang on. Oh wait, that was last year. I'm sorry. They are 21% this year, so they're improved.
They're definitely improved.
But
Yale's a well-oiled machine. Sometimes they're just too slow. They're just kind of slow, little steam engine. My kind of cap is that Howard plays good in the first half and then
putters out.
Just tires out, fails out. So, but yeah, I think that's mine for that. At least that lean for that game. We got another couple kind of day games on now. Just back to are we back to our normal 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock kind of window start time? So CBB's kind of been going with.
Word. Yeah, there's unless either of these early 6 o'clock games for you interest you, I'm looking at pretty much just the Seton Hall Providence game for that early window.
Yeah, what's your take on Seton Hall Providence and Seton Hall catching 7 in the dunk? Would be kind of an interesting game.
Yeah, I mean Seton Hall's kind of been playing, pretty good lately, but Providence just doesn't die at home. But I don't know if I really want to back them again after that. They had a miracle win against Butler. The fact that Butler decided not to foul, they get it, and then you knew it was going to overtime and they were going to kill them. But I mean, I can also just see points here, and at the end, Providence just uses that energy and runs away. Kind of wins by close to double digits. So, yeah, really I got probably no play in this one. But I do lean the over here. I think they're both gonna score. I think Seton Hall's been they've been playing pretty good. They've been scoring the bucket. They've had some big wins. So we'll see what Shaheen's got for them tomorrow on the road, and I think that's their first conference game of the year. Let me see.
I think so.
No, Xavier. No, I'm wrong. Xavier in Connecticut. Excuse me. They beat Connecticut. Lost to Xavier by 20. And then they head to the Dunk tomorrow. So they did beat Connecticut at home. So now they're hitting the road, and they have not been crazy good on the road. So I think we're probably going to get points though tomorrow. So if anything, I think I'd lean the over. I'm seeing 138.5 in that right now.
You're seeing 138.5.
Yeah,
Yep.
offshore.
Yeah, I think that it's just too low to take another. I'm going to add Providence to just like my money line. I've been kind of doing well on those 2-team money line parlays. Just netting, not like crazy, like we have been with our spreads, but just I think I'm going to definitely add them to a money line parlay. I'm not going to lay the 7. May do it with Yale. We'll see. That they'll get us to right around even plus money. But yeah, I think Providence can easily win. I'm not going to underestimate Seton Hall and what they've done and performed. Shaheen's got those guys cooking, like you mentioned. I don't know how long they can hang in the Dunk, and I think it's one of those games like we saw with Butler, we saw with Marquette. I do hate taking a team like that off of 4 wins in a row, regardless if Brown and Sacred Heart's 2 of those wins. So that makes me not want to lay the points. I think it's going to be really close. Seton Hall is going to come in advantage, so I'll probably add them to my 2-team money line parlay. Go Prov.
There we go. Go Prov. So that's about all I got for that one. Next game I'm looking at Chicago State catching 17 at Oklahoma State, over under 134. I'm leaning Oklahoma State in the under here. Chicago State just played tonight against Kansas State, gave them hell, lost by 4. Now you're going to travel. Granted, it's not a crazy far drive, but still you got to pack up. You got to head back somewhere else, and you got to play the next day after you just gave it your all and damn near beat a Power 5. So I think maybe they might hang in a little bit in the first half, but it should start to run away. And I think Oklahoma State wins this by 20, 25 at least. I think they just shut them down. Chicago State is dead. This will be their 21st game of the season, I believe. Chicago State's been everywhere, playing like damn near every other day. So, I think this is going to be just too much to ask for. Back-to-back nights, given that kind of performance for 40 minutes. So, give me Oklahoma State minus 17 there. I hate Oklahoma State, but this is one of the better spots they'll have. This is a nice get right versus a team that'll be dead before your conference play. So,
are you worried about a look-ahead spot against Baylor?
No, because Saturday? I had that angle tonight that fucked me. I think teams after the Christmas break now, these are tune-up games. These are get-right games. We saw what Baylor did tonight. Granted, they let Cornell back in, but they put up 100. DePaul hung in there, but Cam Spencer, Caravan, they went for 37 tonight. I think they had like 4 combined misses. They couldn't be stopped. Tennessee went nuts. So I think these are more of tune-up games than look ahead to like Christmas or conference play. So I think I probably misangled those games. So I think tomorrow is going to be same thing again. Oklahoma State's just going to smash them. It's just too much. 80 minutes back-to-back nights. 2 P5 schools on the road. I think it's just going to be too much.
I want to have a disagreement with you just for the podcast's sake, but it's not going to be this game, that's for sure, especially with Chicago State coming off a close game tonight in Manhattan. Maybe they'll be fired up, but Oklahoma State, they beat SC State by 16, but they pulled away in the second half. Oral Roberts by 21. Dominated New Orleans, dominated Houston Christian. Sam Houston State won by 15, which they've covered against some decent teams. So, yeah, I think I'm with you on Oklahoma State. I probably will not bet this. I would lean maybe Oklahoma State team total over as well. It's got to be around 76 to 78. I think they score 80 here in favor
You could
of your
even look
lean
at
as well.
yeah, I mean, I think maybe even a Chicago State team total under. Oklahoma
Yeah.
State plays defense and grinds you out. After all that today, then you're traveling. Yeah, maybe they struggle to score 50, 55. So that could be a good look. Is that team total under tomorrow?
It's 17, right? 17 to
I'm seeing
133.
17. Yeah,
So yeah, it's good. Oklahoma State will be in the mid 70s then. So yeah, I like that. They might just knock out. They kind of play some bully ball too. They play good defense. Yeah, they play with some of the best defense in the country, and middle of the road and some essentials. But for the four factors that we all know and love, they're all in the green. They look great. Chicago State, they're in the red. They don't play defense. They did tonight. I didn't watch the game. Maybe
competition's a
Kansas
bit
State didn't
skewed.
do well. Yeah. Allowing 70 to DePaul, allowing 80 to Wisconsin. If Wisconsin scores 80,
They did tonight.
They did tonight against an Iowa team. So yeah, that over ended up hitting. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wisconsin over hits in the Kohl Center. They do play Iowa though. But
Oh yeah, I didn't lock them up. I thought the number got a little away at 6.5 today, but I liked Wisconsin in that one. I was like, I feel like it's just telling you what's going to happen.
I remember texting you about it. I think Wisconsin was one I had too, and then just doesn't make the final plays. I'm like, good job, because I just don't have unlimited free money.
Weird. I want to just start betting every single game because it seems like the ones I don't bet always hit. So
yeah.
And Jamal Mashburn is 107 from the floor, so we can just cancel those points out. That's a dead or a loser.
What's the live over under at? Because it was at 158.
142.5.
Holy shnikes.
Might play a second half over.
Yeah. See where it's at the break though. So what do we got? What do we got next?
All right. Dayton Davidson, does that tickle your fancy?
Dayton Davidson does tickle my fancy. Oh God, what a weird game. And the A10, can we talk about the A10, man? A10 used to be one of the best mid-major conferences, but it's a down year.
I mean, St. Joe's still beat Villanova, and Bonnie's gave FAU hell for a little bit till the end there. St. Louis is definitely having a down year, but
what am I seeing?
UMass is solid.
Dayton laying 4.5.
Yep.
Probably price pretty good.
Last year was a 7-point loss.
I hate taking an over with these teams. What was the score last year?
At Dayton or at Davidson it was 69-55, and then at Dayton it was 68-61.
Oh God! You know what? Screw it. Might do the over 136.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nah, it makes me want to take an under. I'll take the under there.
136.5.
136.5. Yep. These teams. Dayton, one of the most efficient teams in the country on offense. Davidson not as impressive on defense. That's the one cap that scares me with and why I was going back and forth. But seeing these two teams pace and the history of this game, I'd be scared to take an over. But it also is scary only taking 135 since they got it pretty priced accordingly. If it's 71 to 70, 71 to 68,
Yeah,
that would suck. Right? So, yeah, definitely a lean for me. But yeah, we'll go the under.
Yeah, if anything, I think I'd probably lean Davidson, to be honest, and a revenge spot at home. After last year, they've been playing good ball. Got blown up by St. Mary's, but lost by 3 to Clemson. And then East Tennessee State, they lost by 2 on the road. Otherwise, they beat Charlotte, they beat Wright State, Campbell, whoop-de-doo, Ohio on Saturday. They won that game, which was awesome. But yeah, and their free throw percentage for opponents is 65.4, so they might have a little bit of a home court advantage there. messing with the free throw shooter a little bit. But I will.
Yeah,
I'd lean Davidson in a revenge spot here.
yeah, I like that.
And if they cover the 4.5, they're probably winning outright. So
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. What else? What else we got at 7:00? Okay, Rutgers versus Ohio State. Ohio State laying. I see 9.5. It was at 8.5 when we were tuning up and pre-gaming which games we're going to talk about. So it's moving in Ohio State's direction already. Rutgers stinks. I'll lay it. Give me it. God, but Ohio State's unimpressive too. But yeah, I'll lay it. I think.
Ohio State's got an Alabama win under their belt.
Yeah, Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State's pretty good. Rutgers defense, though, it scares me to lay that.
It's Big Ten under season.
Big Ten under season. That might be the play too. Big Ten under season, Mr. Big Ten.
133.
Ooh, God, not that again.
Welcome to Big Ten.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Ohio State. They win by 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you play all the defense you want, but you still got to score to win games, and Ohio State's offense is better. So I think it's probably like a 68 fucking 54 game, something like that. I think Rutgers probably struggles mightily to score on Ohio State, and the students are probably back, or this might be the last game without them. But
for how fast Rutgers plays, they do not score at all. Highest scoring game, 85 against Howard, 83 against LIU. Other than that, they've put up 50s 4 times. I mean, they can't score against the big one. Yeah, I think this is a 10-point game. I would not lay 10. I think 8.5, 9.5 is right. I think 10 to 12 is the window. Hell, I might just put $1 or $2 on Ohio State to win by like a range of 11 to 15, something like that. 10, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take Ohio State here. They're playing good ball. They're after a down season. They just went to OT with West Virginia, so that's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, West Virginia's getting better. They're getting guys back, Raekwon Battle and whatnot. So I mean, they're getting better.
And at home at Value City, is it still Value City Arena? Yeah, Value City Arena. Yeah, I'll lay that. Go Buckeyes. I'll never say that again. So
I'm with you. Fuck them, but I'd lay 9.5 with them also.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got? Western Carolina Citadel. I see Western Carolina -3. Over under is 138. I know you were talking about this earlier.
Give me Citadel money line.
Citadel money line?
Yeah, I hate.
Well, if you're like that, it's probably going to go up because it just went up a point in the last 28 minutes.
I hate fading my Catamounts. They're a good team. Citadel, though, I mean, they haven't played a game. They played 5 games in December. They played Toccoa Falls. Sorry for that pronunciation. But, they had a big win against Notre Dame. Western Carolina, big game off Vanderbilt. They played Brescia and King. Hell yeah. Shout out King. King loses 90-62. They're both so they both have played a game since Saturday on equal rest advantage. God, yeah, it's going to be sweaty, but give me Citadel money line. Screw it. I like it. I think it's one of those games that's priced absolutely perfect. It's going to be a knockout, drag-out game. 1-3 points, so it's a gross spread. So I might as well just take Citadel money line and try to get some plus money.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. I mean, if you like it, I mean, Western Carolina laying points, I feel like that's kind of the point where you sell them. They've been catching points all year. Now they're laying points. I don't know how often they have laid points, but I've never once backed them laying points. So feels like Citadel at home is probably the play.
They beat Vanderbilt on the road. That's a great win.
Part of that one.
They beat yes. We were USC upstate. They beat on the road. Whatever. They beat Notre Dame on the road. They beat McNeese State at home. But they lost to
That's a
Gardner
good
Webb.
one.
They lost to High Point on the road. High Point, great team. Gardner Webb, a great team. So no disrespect there. It's not really in my cap. But West Carolina, they don't really force turnovers at all. It's going to come down to the wire of this close game. And West Carolina fouls a lot, and the Citadel doesn't. This game's going to be won on free throws. Citadel, top 10 team in the country of fouling. So they're a disciplined team, military team. I'm going with the military over the Catamounts, which I hate to fade because I love this team all 2023-24.
That was then. This is now.
Now this is then. This is
Let's
now.
go Citadel.
Yeah. Go Citadel.
Back to troops. All right. Next game, Clemson is headed to Miami. They're laying a 1.5. Over at 155. Last year, Miami did win 78-74 at Clemson. And that was the only game they played. In the year prior, it was if I can find it. Did they not play them or what? Oh, there it is. They lost 80-75 in at Miami. I was drawing a blank there. But this Clemson team is really got it going on. I mean, Joe Girard, he's automatic at the free throw line. PJ Hall has been lights out. Chase Hunter's been solid. Yeah, I mean, this isn't the same Miami team. I mean, they're winning, but they lost to Colorado, Kentucky. They beat Kansas State on a neutral, Georgia on a neutral, and then UCF they beat at home. So this is at home, but they have not looked too good against competition they stepped up on. So I really wish Clemson was catching points tomorrow, but I'd probably play the over here just because Clemson's going to have a better offense than they have the last 2 times they played. So give me over 155 in this one, leading Clemson to get it done.
I'm seeing 154 as well. I love that. I was going to shout out the over. I'm not fading the Clemson Tigers this season. My God, those boys are cooking. But Miami is a team I can't figure out. I'm 0-2 betting on Miami or having Miami in my games. So I just kind of want to take the points with you. With Clemson, they're a solid team. The line, I see 154.5 on DraftKings, 155 elsewhere. So I'm going to take that. This game is going to be 80. It's 80-something to 80. So we'll probably be sweating a little bit. Total's going to be dropping in mid-game a little bit, but hanging right around 154 to bang the over, I think. Shots are going to end up falling at some point between Clemson and Miami, of course. Clemson doesn't force turnovers at all, so Miami, who turns the ball over a lot, or below average, I should say, in the league, just under the halfway point of teams for turnover purposes. But they shoot the ball well, 2 points, 3 points inside the arc, beyond the arc. They have great free throws percentages, 5th in the country of free throws. And they diversify the ball a lot with Miami. They don't just pop threes and live and die by the threes. Now Clemson does, so we'll see how that translates on the road. With Clemson pretty much giving majority of their point distribution to the 3-point attempts, which Miami can defend 3 pretty well and get out and close out. So let's. I'm just going to enjoy this and not pick a side and just hope for the points. I think a lot of people are else going to do that as well. So I expected Vegas to correct it maybe a little bit. So I'm going to take it now.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. I'm probably going to lock that in tonight. Maybe I'll just see what's going on, if it's going to drop a little bit for me. But I got 155. I'm seeing offshore. I'll have to check the other books there. But next we've got Is there anything else in this 8 o'clock window that you're looking at other than Xavier Nova?
Holy Cross Bucknell on the 7 o'clock. No, not really. Bradley Valpo, I'm not betting on. God no, Bradley's just on my untouchable list. So
Laying double digits on the road too. Granted, it's Valpo, but
yeah, like I mean, but still, like they haven't impressed me. Um, Sanford, Chattanooga, kind of like the over there as well. But no, nothing else in the 8 o'clock slate. I guess we got an 8:30 game though. Villanova laying 8.5. I see.
Get out of here with that.
Total sitting around 140. You like Xavier? We may have our first battle here. What's the steam on Xavier? Let's hear about
it. I can't imagine laying 8.5 with Villanova personally. They snuck by UCLA by 9. It wasn't a 9-point game all the way through. It was tight until late. Creighton, they had to dispatch in overtime on the road, which, good win, but Creighton is not super elite this year. DePaul, they dismantled, all right, so be it. But I mean, excuse me, the one positive thing Xavier for Villanova is that Xavier's not from Pennsylvania, so they've got that going for them. But I don't know. This Xavier team, their defense is good enough to kind of keep Villanova off the board a little bit. I mean, Villanova's an elite free throw shooting team, but they're shooting sub 50% inside the arc. They're shooting 48.7, 33% from 3-point land. And I mean, it's not like Xavier's much better, but their defense has been better. So I think that's what's going to really keep them in the game. They can grab offensive rebounds, but Villanova likes to crash the glass too. So it's just going to be a matter of who out physicals who. Last year, this was a if I can find it. Cincy. They did not play last year. Or Xavier. God, I'm Xavier. I was looking for Cincinnati. I was like, what am I talking about? 8-point win for Villanova at home here. So now you're where is this game? Now you're laying 8.5. So are they going to stretch it out or keep it closer? And I think Xavier's going to keep it closer just because their defense has been pretty good and Villanova plays slow. So if you're not going to be hitting shots or if you're struggling to get good shots and you're getting the clock killed on you from wasting time or using the clock on offense and then you're not getting anything, I think eventually it's going to take a toll and this will be just a nasty game. It'll probably be, I'm guessing 70-65, somewhere around there. So I think Xavier catching points is a good bet here.
Yeah, I like the under here as well. Hate to do that, but I will battle you kind of. I'm not going to lock Villanova 8.5, but I will lean Villanova and more so look towards that under spot. Villanova 20-33 in their game total unders. Last 33 games, last 13 games, not big sample size for Xavier, but half of them have ended in that. Expect them to go on the road. They were kind of dominating Seton Hall at first. They won and still won by 20, but not the same Xavier team that we know and love. They run and gun. They don't match the points as much with it. They scored 75 against Winthrop, 84 against Cincinnati, 80s against Delaware, and still managed to put up 60 at home against a Houston team that just grinds people out. So this is going to be an under spot for me. There's just Villanova controlling the pace, and Xavier's going to have to be able to play that kind of ball and play at a more efficient rate, or Xavier's going to have to try to just run it and gun it, and this is my court type of mentality. So yeah, I lean Villanova 8.5, but I'm going to look towards the under 140.5 for this game. Like you mentioned, I think 70-65 is good. I think even 70-60 something, 70-63.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, my computer tweaked out. Sorry.
Very good. But yeah, no. So yeah, I'll see where this total moves tomorrow. But those are my leans for that. we can kind of battle on it, whatever. Don't love
Sounds
it.
good.
Do we just go on to this 9 o'clock game? I have a
Do it.
feeling of which one's
Hop into it.
next. I have a feeling of which one's next. Indiana's catching 5 against Nebraska. Jeez almighty. This is when I normally was really good with IU last year, knowing when to fade them, when to tail them, but this year, not so much. Was right on Northern Alabama, but have not been right on a few games with IU. But I don't trust IU. I don't trust IU. I think Nebraska's hot. Hoiberg's kind of got IU's number. We'll lay it with Nebraska. It'll be a good game, though.
Sorry, I just tweeted Justin Perry to see what shot quality he had for this New Mexico game, and his response tweet was pretty funny.
What was it?
Tapping
What
himself
was
on
it?
he was just he quoted. He said, "There's a little bit of value on University of New Mexico. Shot quality has this 32-29 New Mexico lead at halftime. So, yeah, if you wanted to play New Mexico, that would be probably the play he leans at. And I'm actually going to hop in at 4.5 because I liked it earlier, and I decided to play Jamal Mashburn points for whatever reason. So I'm going to hop in live here. Just unofficially. I'm just going to just hop in, take it, plus 4.5. All right. Let's see how this goes for tomorrow. But yeah. So this New Mexico game has just been a grind. I don't know if you've been watching it at all, but
oh yeah, it's been fun. It's been great. It's on my TV. TV number 2, I call it, in the living room here. So
there you go.
Shout out to wifey for allowing multiple TVs and the and multiple viewpoints for the Colts, or the not Colts games, but yeah, Colts games too.
There you
go. CVB games. Man, Nebraska IU. Do you got anything on this?
Yeah, Nebraska -5. Give it to me. I haven't been impressed with this IU team, and Nebraska has they've been playing pretty good. Pull up the page here. Oh, sorry. Nebraska. There we go. Yeah, Hoiberg. I don't know how much Mountain Dew he's drinking, but he's got these kids hyped up. They've got energy plan. Tamanaga. He's Tamanaga. He's doing logo shot shit. He's doing it all. Shawan Gary's been solid for them. Crashing the glass, dishing from the 4 spot. I mean, Jamarcus Lawrence has been pretty solid for him. I mean, just everybody's doing something on this team. It's not just a one-man show. But IU have just been suspect. I mean, barely squeezed past Moorhead, then he beat Northern Alabama by 15, and then Kennesaw gave you a scare that you pulled away late, and they put up 100 in that game. They shot 47% from 3 and 66% from inside, and they still needed to put up 100 to feel safe in that game. I think Nebraska is going to get what they want. I mean, Nebraska can defend and inside and out. They're grabbing offensive boards. They can shoot free throws. Indiana, 68% free throw, 32% three, 35% from deep. So if you're going to allow threes and Tamanaga to get shots up, they're going to fall eventually, and they can shoot free throws. So, yeah, in Indiana, 357th in 3 points attempted per field goal made on offense. So if they fall behind, it's going to be very hard for them to come back crawling out of a hole if you can't make threes and you don't shoot them. So give me Nebraska minus the 5 here. I get Khalil Ware and Malik Renault have been solid, but I just think this team is just playing too good, and IU is suspect. Call me a hater, but fuck IU.
I mean, no, I think I lean the exact same way. I think your cap on the 3 points is really good. Nebraska's, that's where they're going to win this game, is how Indiana's going to defend the 3 here, right? Cornhuskers have also done really good with getting boards too. Even with IU's height advantage against Nebraska, still expect them to be crashing the boards, getting bodies on the glass. Yeah, this thing's might gonna go to 6 or 7 maybe. I'm gonna take Nebraska now. they end up winning on this game. But if the Hoosiers do something to wow me or end up going into Lincoln and winning, but even with Cody Zeller and those guys, they never really played good in Nebraska. Nebraska always had IU's number in Nebraska, I should say, at least. So I will lean with you there and take Nebraska. 150 is perfectly priced, too. This game's going to be like 80 to 72 with IU playing the foul game late. We're going to be worried about a Nebraska cover. I'm going to be worried and having false hope that IU is going to win this game. And they'll end up losing by 8, something like that.
I think it's probably going to be closer to double-digit win for Nebraska. I think that 150.5 total is telling you what's going to happen. They're going to get fast-paced, get their points. Yeah, Nebraska. I'm going to be on that one for sure tomorrow. So actually, I'm just going to lock it up. Nebraska -5.
I like it. Colorado State on a run, start the second half. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's great. But it's maybe Jamal Mashburn can go for 20 this half and cover my +4.5 and points.
Oh, yeah.
That would be electric.
Anything else on the 9 o'clock slate? I think we already talked about NC State, Notre Dame.
Yeah, we did. Was it
Stanford UCLA? Oof, God, what a gross game. Stanford coming off a big win against Arizona. UCLA though, they're like a Maryland stinky. I just wanted to rely on. I took Purdue tonight, wanting to rely even on the road, just knowing that Purdue's the better team, not to overthink it, and that was pretty comfortable. Stanford's probably the better team, but this is Pac-12 final year. This is an away game, road spot. I think they probably end up losing right by 4 or so to UCLA, but I can't lay the points with UCLA either. This is a game that I just cannot figure out. Two teams I can't figure out, especially with Stanford's big win against Arizona, and the 4th-ranked team in the world or the country.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think Stanford's just actually pretty decent this year. I think they got a decent team. UCLA, they're a mess, an absolute mess. I don't think honestly this team really cares for Cronin too much, personally. And Stanford, they did beat UCLA, Arizona, but Arizona actually has kind of looked a little suspect at times too. Like they've had some big games, some big wins that Duke win, but they lost to Purdue, great team. FAU, also a great team. Now they lost to Stanford. I mean, they're kind of just dropping games here and there. They're kind of just not showing up, not playing defense because they play so fast paced that you get a turnover, just boom, it's down the other way for a quick, easy, bucket. And Caleb Love, you kind of just you go as he goes. If he's on fire, it's going to be a great day. If he's missing shots, it's going to be a struggle. And you better hope he just makes the important shot at the end of the game. But I'm kind of on Stanford with this one. I just don't buy into this UCLA team. I think people are probably going to sell Stanford after the Arizona win. I'm going to buy more. I think Stanford's actually a pretty good, solid unit. Haas has got a good team, and Cronin, not a fan of this team at all this year, especially when you get waxed by 15 to Oregon without their bigs, and you got multiple 7-footers. So give me Stanford tomorrow. And who knows? I doubt that place is even going to get crazy. UCLA's down this year. What do you want to go do in LA? Go watch a shitty UCLA team or go out on the beach?
And it's not like that place is ever really rocking other than like the big games too. You know, I mean, I don't know. This is another one where I'm like, okay, UCLA was laying 4.5 exactly around the same total against a Maryland team at home, and they lose by 9. Unless that was a neutral site game, I might be wrong, but
no, that was at UCLA.
So yeah, like I think this is the same spot where I'm like, oh, UCLA shouldn't. Maybe they definitely should be favored, but Stanford's a better team. Going to be a stay away spot for me though. I'm definitely not taking anything on this game. Just gonna have. I just want to see the fall and collapse of Mick Cronin and UCLA, or I guess they're breaking it down to build it back up. They do have some hoopers, but yeah, they're not figuring it out. They don't have a good gel together, and they're just not shooting the ball. And you're seeing results of not being able to shoot the ball good because, as announcers say, who scores the most points is going to win the game. So UCLA fails to do that plenty of times. So I like your take of buying more, but I'm not betting this. So I'll root for the Cardinal and the smart people out in Palo Alto.
Fair. Yeah, there's definitely better games to be betting on, but does pique my interest for later in the night. We'll see how the day goes.
You might have value on money line too. I don't know what.
Oh
was it?
yeah, you easily do. If you're gonna play Stanford against this awful UCLA team, you got to play money line too. There's just one of those teams where it's like, all right, if you're gonna keep giving us dogs, just play the money line. UCLA is just a bad unit, and Stanford's been pretty good so far this year. I mean, they lost to Arizona State by 3. I don't know how they blew that game. That was rough. I mean, I had +5, so I wasn't complaining, but they were so far ahead in that game. They should have never blew that. Lost on the road to Arizona State, San Diego State lost by 14. Arkansas beat them by 3 on a neutral. Michigan by 5 on a neutral. So I mean, they've played teams tough. I don't think no, if Stanford was laying like 1.5, no chance. I want that. But if you're gonna give me points, give it to me. Give me Stanford tomorrow. Another 8 or 9 o'clock game I was looking at here. St. Bonnie's at VCU. A little A10 action also. St. Bonnie's pretty damn good, most experienced team in the country. VCU has been solid also. Let me find this game page. Yeah, VCU is they're pretty solid, but they when they step up in competition, they're not too hot. Memphis beat them by 5. Boise State beat them by 4. Iowa State beat them by 4. McNeese beat them by 9. 11. All at home. They've played 2 neutral games, 3 neutrals. Otherwise, they've all been at home. Right. St. Bonnie's. Yeah, they hung with Florida Atlantic till late. It was a 10-point win for FAU, but that game was close all the way through. Auburn lost by 17. Everyone's going to lose by 17. They did beat Oklahoma State on a neutral also. And in conference play here last year, they beat St. Bonnie's beat VCU by 3 on the road. And, beat them by 3 on the road. And I like this St. Bonnie's team. They got offense and defense. They shoot free throws. They force turnovers. They don't give the ball away. VCU struggles to hang on to the ball. They don't force turnovers, but they can defend you. And they're not too shabby at rebounding. But this St. Bonnie's team, I really like them. Like I said, most experienced team in the country. So if they trail, they're going to know how to respond, what they need to do. Not do anything crazy. They can shoot their free throws. They force turnovers. They can shoot, rebound. So I think St. Bonnie's catching 4.5 is a little too much. I think this is going to be far closer, and I think they're probably even live to win, to be honest, against VCU and Ryan Odom, first-year head coach for VCU also.
Yeah, I like that. I like that play as well, for sure. I don't trust this VCU team. I hate fading VCU in the Siegel Center, but yeah, you're right. I mean, St. Bonaventure looks on paper by far the superior team here. They played Florida Atlantic tough, kind of played Auburn tough, beat Oklahoma State on a neutral, as you mentioned. So yeah, I think they can come in and play pretty good. Absolutely. I'm looking also. One game that actually has props available, kind of like Chad Benning over points, rebounds.
Venning or Benning?
Venning, Venning. No one else is tall enough to match Venning. VCU kind of rebounds middle of the road, but Venning's going to get those extra points just with his height advantage. So I'll look at the PRA, but I'm seeing already points is kind of juice, so I like the PRA of 16.5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of leads to a little bit of DFS play too. If you can get Chad Venning on Prize Picks or Underdog or something for a fantasy square, he's got 3 blocks his last game: 1-1-2, 1-2, 1-1-1, 4-3. This guy can block shots. VCU though, they on offense only 5% of their shots are blocked, top 5 in the country, and neither team gets their shit stuffed. So even if he gets one, those blocks are worth 3 points on the fantasy scores for the app. So like Quentin Post, big centers, I like to take those fantasy scores just because they can get the blocks too, and that's 3 points when you're getting one for a point. So I mean, I played Quentin Post one time. He had 7 blocks in the game last year, and it was like that was the entire fantasy score right there, damn near. So yeah,
Yeah,
DFS
yeah,
I like scores are nice for big men.
I like Venning there for sure, absolutely. But yeah, we only got a couple games left on the slate. Rice Tulane, kind of interesting. Dear Lord, I'm not betting an under in that game, but that is a high total. Tulane win, I guess. I guess Tulane lay it. But you got anything else for the night slate? I know there's maybe some 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock Central time, some games, maybe one that you're interested in, some plus money.
Oh yeah, big dog tomorrow. California's catching 8.5 at USC. Play the 8.5 and the plus 310 on the money line. USC sucks. This team is not good. They just got routed by Oregon State, and Oregon State's not a good team. The only plus for them is that they are home. USC's home tomorrow against Cal, but the last time they were home, they lost to Long Beach State. So you have to go back to them playing Eastern Washington on November 29th, that they got their last home win. That was last year. Haha, good joke. But yeah, that was last year. And they have not looked good. They've lost Gonzaga by 13, Long Beach by 5, Auburn by 16, Alabama State they beat by 20. Congratulations, KenPom 301. They lost by 8 against Oregon and 16 to Oregon State. Now you're coming home. Cal lost by 2 to Arizona State. Crazy game. They put up 81 on Arizona, allowed 100. That was the game after Arizona lost to FAU. So they came out pissed off, but they beat UC San Diego. Mississippi, they held them by 10. Butler, they lost in double overtime by 7. San Diego State, they lost by 9 in overtime. So they're playing team strong. They're forcing overtime. So they're playing tough. They just fade out. But USC's a dog shit team. People just love them because Bronny James is getting a ton of hype for scoring 3 points a game. But this team is just lost. Collier's good, but he's a turnover machine. Boogie Ellis has to try to do it all himself, and that doesn't really work out. Kobe Johnson has been pretty good for him, but he's not really a crazy offensive threat. You have to worry about DJ Rodman's been solid, but he hasn't had anything near the year he had last year. It's kind of been meh. So, I mean, Iwuchuchu, you would think he'd play better, but he's 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 rebounds. How are you 7 foot and you're grabbing 3-4 rebounds a game? Right. Granted, you're only playing 13, 14 minutes, but anything that comes off the rim, you should be grabbing. Like you're 7 foot, you've got 7'1", you've got an advantage over 97% of the entire country who plays hoops. So I'm just not impressed with this team. Give me Cal plus 8.5, plus 310. I think Askew could have a good game. Excuse me. Jalen Tyson's been solid too for them, dropping 20, 22, 13, 22, 16, 21. I mean, the 24, 23. The guy he's a hooper. If you don't want to back Cal or you want to double dip, do Cal plus 8.5 plus money on 310. You can even play Jalen Tyson points over. Fairdoll's a meek. He's a monster. You can do his PRA. He grabs rebounds. He assists. He can score. He does it all. Yeah, I think this Cal team wins outright tomorrow. Give it to me.
Fuck yeah, man! I love chasing plus money. Sometimes it bites me in the ass because I like to add people. I'm scared of the big plus money, but this is one I'm not too scared of as well. They're both terrible at covering. USC can't cover. California can't cover. They're both just below average on that. I'm going to take the over, actually. I know USC doesn't put up as many points, and the under has hit, actually, in 5 of their last 9. But California's defense is the one thing you need to be worried about. Does USC's offense match it? Ken Palm's got this game 80-73, so I like the over 151. But this USC team just gave up 86 to Oregon State, as you mentioned, 82 to Oregon, 91 to Auburn, which is fine. Auburn puts up points. So I don't foresee I foresee this game going over with USC if how they have it is USC 83-70. But I think California, scores more. Or excuse me, 80-73. I think California scores more than that with their average point totals, sitting in the mid 70s while giving up 78 points. So does USC score? If USC scores 80, this total is definitely going over 151. And Cal, I think, can certainly cover and match them, and I'll be hoping and praying for your money line to hit too as well. The fade USC.
Yep, forget that team. Colorado State's up 13. This is what a day I'm having.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's about all I got for tomorrow. Nothing really for sure, but I will 95% be on Cal. Yeah, if anything, I'll be on Jalen Tyson props for California against this weak USC defense. I think he could probably have himself a game, pop off with another 20, no problem. So,
does San Diego State cover against Florida State or Fresno State tomorrow? 17 and
it's a lot of points.
A lot of points, but I think they got it on the money. I bet they win by 16-18. It'll be too sweaty for me to bet.
Yeah, Fresno. I mean, Fresno, they only gave up 77 to San Fran. BYU only 85. James Madison 95, which is a lot of points. But for those teams, they kind of held on. I mean, 85 against BYU is semi decent. That's a team that's a team that puts up 100 on the regular.
Right.
San Francisco can really score. They held them under 80. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be somewhere maybe mid 70s for San Diego State, and then Fresno scratches maybe 55, maybe.
Receiving 60, yeah, that's just gonna be sweaty. So, but
yes, yeah, maybe even a team total under.
Yeah, I like that look.
Oh, I see it right here. Fresno is at 60.5.
Interesting. What's San Diego? So San Diego State's at 77.
They're at 76.5.
I like that too.
Yeah, that under. That's in Fresno State under seems pretty nice. Cal State Bakersfield, they only put up 51. BYU held them to 56. James Madison 64. There's not going to be a shit ton of possessions either. San Fran 57.
First home game.
Like that under.
First home game for conference play. Yeah. I mean, I like that too. So see how it goes. Yeah, I think San Diego State can dominate here, but that's a lot of points. So I'll be either looking at their San Diego State's team total over or Fresno State's team total under, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I lean Fresno's under anyway. I don't like banking on San Diego State to score mid 70s at least. But right. I can see both of these happening either way. So yeah, that'll be about it.
I think we're going live tomorrow too, so catch us there. And that was a good show, buddy. It's good to be back talking sports with you. It's a little mundane, a little hungover from the long weekend, but
definitely
and a rough day today. But I'm pumped to have conference play back and watching hoops, man. So
word, yeah. Let's pray for a fucking miracle. New Mexico come back and Jamal on the back of Jamal Mashburn scoring 20. That would be electric. Yeah, but yeah, we will see everyone tomorrow, and yeah, good luck with all your bets.
Good luck. See you tomorrow.
Peace.